Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spring Lake Park High School for CTN's coverage of the Section 7 Girls Lacrosse Tournament. In the first round, the SLPCR squad, seeded number 8, welcomed the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action, and Howie, a solid season for the team in its first year as a co-op.
Yeah, it really has been, and the fact that they got a home playoff game, I know they're all excited about, so that's great to see, and an opportunity to play against the number 1 seed. Whoever wins this one will play Chisago Lake. So this game is is going to be fun. I think 2 evenly matched squads, and the winner gets a monumental task at the end.
Duluth Marshall finishes with a slightly better record, albeit against slightly softer competition. They did play the Blaine Bengals early in the season, lost that game 18-1. They are coming off a couple of losses to finish their regular season at 5-5. The Spring Lake Park squad finished with a win over Osseo Park Center by an 11-10 score to finish their season at 4-9. And they're hoping they can keep that season alive at least one more time on the field on Thursday, as you mentioned, against number 1 Chisago Lakes. And with the first face-off, we are just about underway, and the winner moves on. The winner's season is over. Duluth Marshall took a long road trip to get here. They're hoping it'll be a happy ride home.
Yeah, they come in a little banged up, Joe. Coach Rowan told me that they've had a couple of girls that were question marks coming into this one, but they're going to be able to throw as many healthy girls out there and see if they can advance.
Spring Lake Park able to get the opening possession, and working with it down low is Allie Edwards. Passes up top, and a stick infraction will reset as Lorkey tried to cut through the defense. She will get the free position. We'll take it right at the keeper, Rowan, and just lost the handle as she went to shoot. Behind momentarily secured by the Hilltoppers, but then fumbled up and recovered by Edwards. SLPCR back on the attack. Wigan plays it back behind. Good passing out front. The shot over the top for Peyton Scandrett. But gray jerseys abound behind the net, so they maintain possession. Edwards looking, has time, not feeling a lot of pressure. Spring Lake Park will work it back to the near side.
I know the key for the Hilltoppers will be trying to defend that middle part of the field. And they know that Coon Rapids has some scorers on there. SLPCR has some scorers on their squad.
Edwards sees the C's part, goes in, a shot turned away by Anna Roan, and she will get possession to get her team. Oh, they say it is.
No, it said it was a goal. No, they're gonna give the home team the goal. Interesting story about Anna Roan, Joe. Anna is her favorite sport is baseball. She played for the boys' baseball team. Let's take another look at this.
Oh, yeah, it did bounce in behind her.
Yep. So they give that one to Edwards. That's her 23rd goal of the season. Anyway, so her favorite sport is baseball. She was the catcher on the boys' baseball team, and her parents, who co-coached this team, told her we need you in goal this year, and she came out and played lacrosse. She's got a lacrosse background as well. In fact, she's going to Stout next year to play lacrosse.
Just a heads-up play for Allie Edwards again. The C's just really parted and left her a big hole. She took it and apparently did bounce it past Roan. Looked as if Roan had stopped it up and caught it before it went in, but Field's a long way away, Howie.
Yes, the older we get, the longer it is.
SLPCR right back on the attack, an offensive infraction. You can't just run over defenders in the middle.
Nope.
So they will leave it off, and the Hilltoppers an opportunity to try and possess. Roan gets it ahead for Ella Roan. And now near side, Nina Thorson will move it along. Chardelli in the middle, a shot and a goal, and just like that, the Hilltoppers answer.
Well, that's what
Siri
they wanted.
Chardelli taking it on her own shoulders to tie this one up. A little less than a minute.
Yeah, Chardelli does a nice job of splitting the defense and then scoring the goal. That is goal number 12 on the season for her.
Hilltoppers really not any possession time in the offensive end. That was their first charge downfield, and Chardelli saw her opening, found it, even the score. Off the face-off, though, Ella Roan controls. Defense collapses, but the whistle blows. Roan another opportunity, trying to bang her way through a couple of different bodies. Whistle sounds again. This pass played ahead. Working straight through the middle with Stara Stauber. And now we'll retreat to the top. Look for an angle. Run right at the net. Scores.
Not sure what they called there. Did they wave that off?
They did. Infraction.
Yep.
Offside. Maybe.
Oh.
Quick turnover. Hilltoppers right back on the attack. Ada Burrows tried to leave it off for Stauber. It was fumbled. Chardelli trying to scoop and does. Chardelli attacking right down the middle. Finds her way in, and that save made to look easy.
And then a turnover. Again, the last couple of throws downfield for SLPCR have been turnovers, giving the Hilltoppers opportunity.
And that was the one that clearly got behind Rollmaker, but something was amiss. Chardelli, the free open position, will come in, bounce it home. And she's got her second. Hilltoppers in front by a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, nice job by the Hilltoppers to react to the opening goal by SLPCR with a couple of their own now to take this lead here on the road. We're starting to get a few more fans here today. It's a rainy Tuesday evening. Drizzly.
Let's not get too dramatic here.
Well, I didn't say it was pouring. It's a torrential downpour here.
It's a little damp.
It is damp. It is umbrella weather, however.
Loose ball scooped up by Nina Thorson. Played ahead, and Stauber, her pass taken away. SLPCR back the other way. Maida, long run down the near sideline, trying to stay away from Thorson, find a way around her. Will retreat behind the net. Wiggin and Maida play catch on the near side. Back behind for Edwards. She's the goal scorer. She'll work her way up top, out front. Shot and a goal. A pair for Edwards, a pair for Chardelli in between, and we are tied at 2.
Yeah, again, we talked about the fact these are fairly even teams, evenly matched teams. So I'm not surprised they've traded a couple of goals here early on. But just a nice job here just to weave through the defense. It gets a nice look at the net. Not much Anna Roan could do about it.
Just about midway through the first period.
Well, Anna's younger sister, Ella, who also plays on this team, just a sophomore. She's the second leading scorer. And I've heard that they have a younger sister who's going to be the best of the 3, Tobla.
That's so bad.
I apologize to the Roans ahead of time. Oh, I just couldn't resist.
Well, I thought, according to the scoring on the hub, Ella Roan actually leading the team on the hub, but it looked like they may not be complete.
Might be by points. Yeah. Okay. So she is the way they did it. They just did it by goals.
Points.
Yeah. She has 18 points.
Second in goals.
Second in goals. Correct.
Thorson weaving her way inside. It's dislodged from her cross, but illegally so. And SLPCR trying to move upfield. It's nearly picked from the pocket of Erica Maida from behind. She's able to stay with it, scoop it up. And now a little breathing room in the corner. Katie Wiggin down low to Scandrick. And behind is Edwards. Edwards going to keep doing this as long as they keep giving her the room. Her pass, though, to Wiggin was intercepted. Back the other way goes Sarah Stauber. Long pass for Chardelli is disrupted, scooped up by Emily Bornas. She's got room. She's just going to run right at the defense. She's bumped off of it. And a bubble violation. So a free position.
On a great spot.
Bornas will take it right at the net, shoot low and score. And SLPCR back in front by a 3-2 score just under 5 minutes to go in the first period.
That's Emily Barnes' first goal of the season. Good time to come in the section playoffs. Gives your team the 3-2 lead. And again, just a great position. It's tough to miss from in that spot.
Three-two lead for the Panthers in a do-or-die game. Starting the Section 7 tournament at home, the number 8 seed hosting the number 9. Number 9. Off the face-off. It's Ella Rowan getting to it, and she'll go on the attack. Can't find her way through the defense. We'll give it back up to Thorson. Thorson back down low, turning and shooting in close was Ada Burrows, but a big stop by Rollmaker.
Yeah, Rollmaker able to get a piece of it.
Long pass ahead, scooped up on the hop by Wiggin. Wiggin, long run down the middle, look left side for Edwards. That was taken away. Strong stick play by Mia Musial. SLPCR able to get the steal right back, and then a little bit of a body check, but the play continues. Another stick infraction. Panthers continue to bring the pressure. Would like to see a 2 or even 3 goal lead, if possible.
Yes, they would certainly like to open it up.
Free position from a tough angle, and taking it behind is Grace Schmidt. Schmidt, the leading scorer for Spring Lake Park.
By far. In terms of goals, 33 goals on the season.
one of the senior captains. I know she's going to play next year. I don't remember where. But I did talk to her preseason. And she's had a solid year leading this, again, first-year co-op.
Yeah, 38 points on the season.
And when they've had possession in the attacking end, SLPCR really hasn't had a ton of pressure on the ball. So they've had time to look. Still, the pass didn't click. And Marshall quickly on the attack. Chardelli runs right into Claire Shimabukoro. And I don't see how that's the defender's fault. How's that a penalty on the
really
defense?
Sure.
Standing your position.
Yeah.
But Chardelli is going to get the
charge.
Chardelli is going to get the free position. Great opportunity to complete her hat trick. Fanned on the shot. Able to scoop it right back up. Get it to Sarah Stauber and cross for Thorson in the middle row. Hilltoppers will work the top of the box. We haven't seen him again with a lot of possession time. Thorson weaving through, didn't get much on the shot. Able to recover it herself.
She has speed.
Pass out front. Roan goes low. Big stop for Romaker.
She's got speed too in the middle. Thorson does.
Spring Lake Park with numbers on the attack. Shot handled by the keeper, Anna Roan. Quick outlet to Ella Roan.
I think they practiced that a few times between sisters.
Stauber trying to find some room. Attacking right through the middle, and ball knocked free, but bubble violation, and we'll have a free position for Stauber.
And just fighting in between a couple of defenders. That's where the contact was.
Stauber races in, shoots over the shoulder of Romaker, and evens the score with just 33 seconds to go in this first period.
That's goal number 17 for Stauber. She's now tied for the amount of with the leading points on this team.
Her team leading 17th goal.
Yep. There you see
according to the hub.
The drizzle.
The dampness.
The dampness, though. A little chilly. It's a little chilly.
The moisture in our air.
Yes. Well, we're in store for some nice weather here in the next few days. It's going to be peachy.
Peachy it is.
It is.
Pass a little too tall, recovered by Schmidt. Schmidt gets around a bump. Pass into the middle, but the shot by Metis was over the top, out the end line, and good positioning.
That was good defense there because she had a really nice shot in close.
Edwards not able to find her way inside this time. It's taken away by McGiffert. And that'll take us to the end of the first period. It was an eventful one. We've gone back and forth. We end tied at 3 apiece. You're watching Girls Lacrosse Section 7 playoffs on CTN.
As you know, CTN's on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
Back at Spring Lake Park High School, Duluth Marshall head coach Jennifer Roan.
Yeah, nice conversation with her this afternoon.
Her team coming down despite having the better record, making the long road trip, trying to make it worth it, and prove that the Cedars got it wrong.
Sam Hasbrook, head coach for the SLPCR squad as well, as you saw there. She's trying to be able to get her team to advance to Thursday against Chisago Lakes.
Both SLPCR lacrosse teams able to qualify for a home playoff game to get things started. Both the number 8 seed taking on a number 9, but in some ways better to have that than to start as the number 7 seed against the number 3 per se, or number 2.
Now you get a chance to get a win before you have to take on one of the big dogs.
Long run for Olivia Lorkey. Looked for Edwards and immediately drew the double team as she cut through the middle. Wiggin behind the net. Work it up top. The pass into the middle, trying to get it to Midas, was disrupted. Stubber. Stubber, you can see, I mean, she's big, strong girl.
Yep.
She's got the size advantage.
She does.
But she waits for 2 players to come and surround her. And
there's nowhere to go.
There's not really
with it.
anything she can do,
No.
but, you know, it's a slightly different sport. You're not able to bang bodies quite the way you can in the boys lacrosse game. Free position for Lorkey. No room to get inside. Gives it up to Midas. Midas can't find her way through. Able to recover after she dropped it. Lorkey spins away from pressure. Usual surprised her a little bit there. She turned around.
You know, we saw a lot of that in that first quarter. A lot of possession down in the Hilltopper end.
You don't give up a lot of goals if you're holding the ball in your offensive end a lot.
Correct.
Nina Thorson. Long pass ahead, didn't click. Will roll in on Rowmaker. And she just quickly fires it the other way. Wiggin there to accept. Gets past Stauber. Runs into a couple of other defenders. And then runs over a defender. And again, you can't quite bang bodies the way you can in the boys' game.
You'd like to.
Katie Wiggin, also a senior captain.
I got her crossed up a little bit high as well.
From the Coon Rapids side of things, and I believe she said she is also playing next year.
Love to see that.
Hilltoppers able to gain possession. Pass to the interior was taken away beautifully, though, and SLPCR on the run again. Too tall for Wiggin. Bounces through, though, to Edwards. Edwards runs right at the defense. Went to set up behind, and the whistle sounds, so she'll get a free position. Shot high. The save was made by Roan, but Edwards able to collect her own rebound. Gets around Thorson. Kylie Dewar looking for room. Can't find it. Will back out. Will try again. Shoots around Chardelli, but a good save by Roan, and now she has an opportunity to try and clear.
Yeah, she didn't get much on that shot either. Just bounced it right to Rowan.
Kylie Edwards gives it off to Schmidt behind the net. Now Allie Edwards has to recollect. Schmidt up top. Surveying. Looking for a passing lane into the middle. Finds it. The shot misses wide for Dewar. But SLPCR all over the back line. They'll maintain possession.
Was that... again, she's not happy. She's not happy about the shot selection there. She knew she had a better opportunity.
Lorkey will set up on the left side. A lot of room. Passes into the middle. The catch and shot by Midas misses. And out the end line, but
yeah, I think she got
Allie Edwards was back there.
She got a little too anxious. She was right there. She just put a little too much on it. Taking another look. A good find in the middle, but just a little bit too much. I think she got a little contact too on a cross to her hand as well.
Lorkey charges through the middle, scoops up the 50-50 ball, then lost it on her way back to the net. This one's recollected by Sarah Stauber, who turns it around for the Hilltoppers. Near midfield, Ada Burrows able to gain possession and turn on the Jets. She's got three defenders in front of her. Cuts back to her left, fires high and well over the top and way out. But the whistle sounded. So the Hilltoppers will get a free position.
So far, no one has been able to score here in quarter number 2. But a great opportunity for
Burrows
Duluth
right
Marshall.
away fires it and misses wide. But good positioning by Ella Roan to make sure the Hilltoppers maintain possession. Timeout. 5:22 to go in the second quarter.
Not a lot of bench depth for the Hilltoppers. I think they may only have one.
Well, when you come down in two Honda Civics.
Well, yeah. Well, you just cram everybody in and stop at the Hardys on the way through.
Well, I hope for their sake they got to stop at Toby's, or they get to stop at Toby's on the way home, because that should be a stop. Anytime you're between the Twin Cities and Duluth,
yes,
it's almost exactly halfway, and some of the
so good
best cinnamon and caramel rolls you will find.
Yes. Joe's doing a free ad for Toby's.
Yeah,
come on down.
Now, if Toby's could just send me some
free food.
Caramel rolls, I prefer them with nuts. Making myself hungry.
Yeah, I'm one sans nuts. I'm not a big. I don't like the nuts on the caramel rolls.
Pecan pie.
Not a fan of pecan pie.
Cinnamon rolls are just as good.
Oh, they're so good.
They're very, very tasty.
Yes.
You gotta stop. Okay, back to lacrosse.
We'll have to call Uber Eats. Get something delivered to the booth.
Instead of doing the boys lacrosse game, Joe and Howie have left along with the girls lacrosse team so that they can stop at Toby's on the way back to.
They got on the bus and they'll find their own way back.
Just get me to the Toadies. So 3-3, we had a game go back and forth. SLPCR started the scoring. Less than a minute later, Duluth Marshals evened it. They would then take the 2-1 lead, only to see Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids score the next two and lead 3-2. And then a goal with 33 seconds left in that first period for Duluth Marshall got us even at 3. Both teams have had decent looks here in the second, but no one has been able to cash in. The Hilltoppers will start out of the timeout with that possession. Good effort, good spin. Second chance gets the goal for Emma Johnson, and that was all individual effort coming from behind the net.
Yeah, Emma Johnson did a really nice job of getting the rebound after her initial shot, and she's able to stay with it and then put it past to give the Hilltoppers the lead. Again, you get a nice move to the inside. There's the rebound. She's able to get it back and throw it in the back of the net.
Rollmaker with a solid stop on the initial effort. But the rebound, unfortunately, rolled right back to Johnson, and she was able to cash in.
It's goal number 4 for Johnson on the season.
SLPCR awarded the ball after a infraction on the draw. Setting up behind. It's Grace Schmidt. Pass up top is broken up, and here goes Thorson. Talked about her before and the speed she's shown. End to end, right on the attack. Ripped it off the post. Recovered by Chardelli. Chardelli, 2 goals in that first period. And she is denied as she tries to find the middle. Shimabukoru downfield. Moves it right side. Pass into the middle. Quick shot for Wigan was over the top. Spring Lake Park in position there. The ref's kind of looking back and forth. Oh, we have a yellow card.
We do. That could be on Katie Wigan, I believe.
It is on the follow through. Good pressure coming from Peyton Scandrett. Forces it free from Roan. Still loose. Goes off the back of the net. Now collected by Emma Johnson. Hands it off to Roan, and Sandra will continue to pressure. Now a long pass. Gets it up to Eva Drevnik. And here comes Thorson again. Speed right through the defense this time. She slips it past the keeper. Gets her first of the game and puts her team up 5-3 with 3:19 to go in the half.
Yeah, again, that speed just allowed her to get through and around the defense, and just a nice shot as she's able to collect her 14th goal of the season.
First time either team has been able to get a separator goal.
Yep.
See if they can continue the momentum, or if Spring Lake Park can find a way to stop it and get this one back to even before the break. Lorkey able to jump on the loose ball off the draw, then get the whistle. Now with possession, will shy away from usual. Get it near side. Scander it back to Easton, up top for Lorkey.
Well, we saw a lot of that possession down in the Hilltopper end earlier, but Duluth Marshall doing a good job of really collecting themselves and putting a lot of pressure down in the SLPCR end, hence a 2-goal lead.
Lorkey into the middle. Scanderit was bumped off of it, able to recollect. Works her way down the right side, short angle shot, snared by Roan. Immediately gets it to Thorson. Moves it along, and Hilltoppers quickly to the other end. Chardelli looking for room to shoot. That one is denied by Romaker.
Yeah, Romaker just did a really nice job of staying with it. They had a little speed on it, and she was able to get it in her cross.
Scanderit down the right side. Dewar turns, can't get it through. Another chance is a goal for Caitlin Easton.
Yeah, nice job. Good spot out front for Easton. Goal number 4. So that'll cut the lead to 5-4 with 1:45 remaining in the half. And just good pressure in the middle. Off the
Turnaround
rebound.
shot, and the rebound went right to Easton. Going to the hole where goal scorers go.
That's right.
1:45 to go in the half, back to a 1-point difference. Schmidt against Roan. Schmidt able to win it clean. Thorson there to defend. Gets it to Easton. Easton into the middle. Edwards couldn't quite handle it. It swept away from her, but SLPCR able to gain control quickly. Easton to Edwards. Back into the middle. She's bumped. Whistle sounds. She'll get a free position as both Edwards and McGifford went to the ground.
There you get the push. Kind of like a pinball. Good spot here.
Allie Edwards had 2 goals in the first period. First 2 goals of the game for SLPCR. That shot
They hit a post.
partially deflected and then off the iron. Ball still loose. Swept at Kylie Edwards. Able to scoop it up, but we've got a whistle for Chardelli, who's slow to get up. Another look at it. It looks like Roan got a piece of it before it found iron. Chardelli's okay. We return to action. Kylie Edwards on the run for Spring Lake Park. Leaves it for Dewar. Tried to pass into the middle. That was broken up. Back the other way comes Roan. Long pass ahead. Chardelli catches, spins. Now cuts back to the middle. Chardelli trying to find room. Flips it behind her head. The save made by Romaker. Bumps draw the whistle. Ball awarded to SLPCR. Final 15 seconds of this first half. Will they get one more chance on goal? Long run. Pass won't click, and that will take us to the buzzer, and the Duluth Marshall Hilltoppers will go to the half with a 5-4 lead. We'll take a break and be back with the second half. You're watching Girls High School Lacrosse Section Tournament action on CTN. Howie, do you know why fish are so bad at volleyball? Because they're afraid of the net.
Why me?
Why couldn't the volleyball player cross the road? There were too many bumps. Why was Cinderella kicked off the team? Because she ran away from the ball.
I hate you.
Back at Spring Lake Park High School, it is the first round of the Section 7 Girls Lacrosse Tournament. Panthers qualifying for a home game as the number 8 seed against number 9 Duluth Marshall. And they started it right, got on the board with a goal from Allie Edwards, but then a pair from Siri Chardelli, put the Hilltoppers in front. And we have gone back and forth ever since. Emily Bornis with the goal off the free position that put SLPCR back in front 3-2. Then Duluth scored late in the first to tie it. Scored a couple early in the second to take a 5-3 lead. And a late goal for Caitlin Easton to get SLPCR back within a goal.
First half's gone pretty much how I thought it would. Pretty close contest, quite obviously, against an 8 and a 9. And an opportunity now in the second half. Your season's on the line. You want to be able to play another game, even though it's against the number 1 seeded squad. But you don't want your high school season to end here tonight.
And as we talk about all the time, regardless of your regular season record, when you get to this point, every team has a chance to win a state championship. Just got to get things to go their way. Scooping it up on the run is Grace Schmidt. Schmidt, the leading scorer for the Panthers, really been pretty quiet. I don't know that she's even attempted a shot.
I don't think so.
Shovel attempt by Bornis was denied. Rowan way out of her circle to clear that one downfield. Kylie Edwards able to come out of the pile with the ball, get SLP back on the attack. Long shot from Wiggett misses wide. And Rowan on the ball, got back there and wins the possession back for her squad.
Yeah, good hustle by her to make sure that she got it.
Rowan long pass ahead to Ella Rowan. Trying to get around Castillo. Withstands a couple of cross checks and finally the whistle blows.
Almost a turnover there.
Thorson resets up top with Ella Rowan. And now Sarah Stauber. That one eluded the cross of Chartelli, but you saw how much time she had to just walk over and pick it up.
There's no resistance.
No real pressure.
Nope.
Extended, long shot in. Rowmaker easy save and lobs it out. Coming back for it is Edwards. Able to scoop it, but not easy to run away from Thorson.
No.
Thorson has shown her jets all afternoon so far. Defends well and then chops it away from Edwards, but called for the stick infraction.
Yeah, just trying to ride her defensively, and there's where she knocked the ball out of her cross, but got a little contact as well.
Positioning infraction.
Yeah.
Easton gets to a good shooting spot, shoots low, gets her second of the game, and gets us tied at 5 apiece.
Well, she did a heck of a job creating space for herself, getting around a defender and allowing herself to get off that shot. You're going to see it here. It's just a step around the defense and bounce it past your keeper in Anna Roan.
Five, second of the game for Caitlin Easton. They've been consecutive. Allie Edwards had the first 2 for SLPCR. Siri Chardelli had the first 2 for Duluth Marshall. Thorson will face off against Schmidt. Good body positioning by Castillo to protect that ball, give Schmidt an opportunity to come in and scoop it up. And she will get Spring Lake Park set up on offense. Scooped up by Castillo. Pass out front was deflected by a couple of Hilltopper sticks. Scooped up by Thorson. Thorson's long pass intercepted and turned around by Emily Bordas.
He bumped off the play.
And when the whistle sounded,
I thought it was.
I thought it was going the other way.
I totally thought it was the other way.
Lower his shoulder, get the ball.
Yeah.
I like it. Long run for Musial. Gets it to Chardelli in the middle. Chardelli trying to run right through the defense. Sends it down low. Turnaround shot for Burrows went wide. Chardelli able to recover along the end line.
Good, just a look from inside, but not going to be on target.
Burrows tried to spin back and shoot short side, missed wide. Scooped up by Rollmaker, who clears. Burrows unable to, or Scandrett rather, unable to scoop it up. Roan got it. Thorson back the other way. Denied entry to the inside, will back up and hand it off to Sauber. Chardelli can't find a gap. Scooped up and cleared by Bornas. And SLP on the run the other way. Caitlin Easton down the right wing. Into the middle, Wigan catches, shoots, catches the Hilltop defender up high, and Margaret Simone immediately to the turf. And we are going to have a break as she is attended to. We will step away. Be back with more of this Section 7 girls lacrosse action after this on CTN.
There was once a time when local sports coverage wasn't what it is now. A dark age filled with handicaps and Polaroids and angry crowds. Then 2 noble souls stood and proclaimed aloud that they'd give the people high-quality sports no matter how. So Sports Nights they became. Delivering stats and highlights was their vow. And Sports Nights they remain. Watch them weekly on CTN Now.
Back at Spring Lake Park High School, good to see that Simone able to walk off under her own pressure, her own power, and
take a look at that. I think the ball hits her in the neck.
It's off a quick shot. You see her immediately go for the throat. Wiggin catch and release quickly.
Oh.
Yeah, right on the collarbone.
Ouch.
She'll feel that one in the morning, but
I'll leave a mark. But she's able to walk off.
In that close quarters, I thought it was the cross catching her in the face. So hopefully she'll be no worse for wear.
Cross to the face, ball to the neck. It's just neither one could feel good.
No. Jeremy Shepard there to make sure she is well attended to.
Best in the business.
Boys team from Hermantown Proctor has arrived, ready for their 7 o'clock contest with the SLPCR squad. Also an 8 versus a 9. The interesting thing, 11 teams in the girls lacrosse section, 13 in the boys. Thorson trying to scoop near midfield and does. Gets it ahead for Lucy Lane, and Lane will run right into the teeth of the defense. Cough it up to Ada Burrows. Burrows can't fight through a posse of bodies. Rollmaker will play it near side this time, and unable to secure it was Peyton Scandrett. Turned over to the Hilltoppers just over midway through the third quarter. Chardelli looking for a gap, finds it, shoots wide.
Toppers.
Good hustle on the backside by Ada Burrows. Make sure the Hilltoppers maintain possession. Pass too high for Stauber. Waiting to collect is Easton. She'll send it along for Scandrett. Lost it, scooped it back up on the run. Thorson there to cut her off. Pressure all the way into the corner. Caitlin Easton has the last 2 for SLPCR. Whistle sounds for a bubble infraction. Erica Maida back into the contest for Spring Lake Park. Easton will send it down low. Edwards scored both of her goals exactly this way, scooping out from behind the net, finding a path to the net. This time not able to convert, and Rowan quickly gets back there to get possession back. Her pass nearly taken away, broken up, and now secured by Ruby Castillo.
Yeah, we've seen Rowan do that a couple of times, just making sure she got maintained possession for her squad. Getting to that ball first.
Easton into the middle, a little too tall for Castillo. Edwards in close, but a big save by Roan will keep this a tie contest at 5-all.
Roan did a really nice job of just staying with it and just kind of looked that into her cross.
Caitlin Easton not going to wait and give her all the time in the world. Put some pressure on, forces pass that nearly sneaks out of bounds on the far side. Would have created a turnover back to the home squad. Instead, they get it ahead to Sarah Stauber, and now Chardelli has to slow down, scoop it back up. Pressured there by Maida. Able to break free and in on the defense, and now backs up and will set things up with her teammates.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of scoring here so far in this second half.
Just the one goal.
Yeah.
Caitlin Easton's to tie it. Slipping through his Roan, but an offensive foul called, and that will turn it back over. And in a game this tight, still a lot to be played, but obviously goals can come in bunches in lacrosse, but you've got to believe that the next goal is going to be very important in a 5-5 contest.
Oh, it'll be huge. And, you know, both defenses are playing really well, just not allowing opportunities like you saw a little bit more of in that first half.
Good steal on the far side by Edwards. Edwards trying to find her way back to the net. Started so strong with 2 first-period goals.
Yep.
Shutout since. She knows the importance that next goal would bring, and she's got an opportunity on a free position.
Yeah, in a good spot.
Under a minute remaining now in the third period. Shoots and scores, cut to the middle, finds the hole, gets her third of the game, puts her team back in front 6-5.
Yeah, no lead is safe, obviously, in this contest so far, but nice job by the SLPCR squad to just make opportunities for themselves, and you saw it there. She did a really nice job of making that opportunity on the free possession, and then going to put it past Rowan for the goal.
Should get a little breather here at the end of the third quarter, and her team hoping they can at least get to the locker room or to the third quarter break up by a goal. Face-off win for Schmidt. Even after it's knocked free, she's able to recollect. Schmidt cutting through. She shoots. Roan has the save. Long pass. Bounces past everybody. Scooped down the run and turned around. This is Addie Romaker. She will bring it in deep and set it up. Under 20 seconds remain.
Well, they will have at least a 1-goal lead going into the fourth.
Opportunity to try and set up one last good look. 5 seconds and 4. They'd end up with it in the cross behind the net. But they will get to the third quarter break up by 1. 2 goals in the period for Spring Lake Park. They lead Duluth Marshall 6-5. Fourth quarter of this Section 7 first round contest next on CTN. Back at Spring Lake Park. 3 quarters in the books. 1 on the clock. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids trying to punch their ticket to the quarterfinal round in a matchup with the number 1 seed Chisago Lakes Wildcats. Hilltoppers have had an answer every time they've fallen behind. They've also led in this contest. They've actually been the only ones to have a 2-goal lead through the first 3 quarters. They were up 5-3 briefly in the second. SLPCR, a big possession off the opening draw to start the fourth.
Well, obviously, plenty of time left in this one, but SLPCR would like to see if they could get a 2-goal advantage here in this trip down. Put a little more pressure on the Hilltoppers.
Well, we'll see if either team feels a little more urgency on offense.
I think you'd have to.
Both have been pretty complacent and patient, waiting for things to set up or the defense to break down. Opportunity missed wide for Ruby Castillo, but good positioning by SLPCR. Pass behind, gets away from Middish. She recovers. Leaves it off. Caitlin Easton backs away, and we'll bring it back up top. Easton into the middle, and unable to secure the pass was Dewar, but she was able to scoop it back up.
Again, so far pretty good possession here for SLPCR. They're just trying to find that opportunity to get that perfect shot off.
Bornas back up top. Into the middle. Castillo turned, and there are just all kinds of bodies there.
I think she got clubbed.
Chardelli able to scoop and run. She's got some room to work with. Rolls back and sets the offense.
You know, both when those teams have a possession down in the opponent's end, it's just working for that perfect position. Just trying to find that opening.
Chardelli from a ways out fires wide. Couple of bodies along the end line. Ada Burrows closest, so Hilltoppers will keep it. Trying to come out front was Burrows, then tried to just sweep it toward the net. Schmidt, long run. Sends it ahead, and here is Edwards. Edwards through the middle, no path to the net. Whistle sounds, and now a free position for Allie Edwards.
A good spot for Edwards here. She can get the quick jump.
Thorson angles her off, and Rowan able to make this save on a shot from in close. Pass doesn't click. Scoop back up by Kylie Edwards.
Again, SLPC are allowed to set up, work their offense.
Certainly they want to see it pay off. Any time down here certainly helps their cause, being that they are up a goal. But getting a little cushion, a little breathing room would be huge.
Absolutely. So you see the chance there. Nice stop by Rowan.
Castillo. Right side and down low. Out front, and shot by Dewar is over the top.
Clock continues to move. 6.5 minutes remaining. The slimmest of leads for SLPCR. Clock is stopped to tie the shoe.
Caitlin Easton off the free position, cuts to the middle, tries to find room, is denied. Stick infraction, and she'll get another opportunity on the free position. Huge stop for Roan.
Big stop.
She's come up with a couple of them that
She has
kept her team in this one. As SLPCR continues to look for the separator goal.
Again, just a great opportunity, but Rowan comes up, as you mentioned, big.
Another golden opportunity for Caitlin Easton. Lunged in and then backed out, and they'll reset the offense. Move some pieces through the middle. Trying to find somebody cutting into the hole. Edwards is there. The pass out of her reach. Scooped up by Schmidt.
They could use a goal from her.
Schmidt trying to make people miss. Draws the whistle, and she'll get the free position.
Yeah, this may be her opportunity right here. Leading goal scorer for SLPCR.
Schmidt to the middle, had it knocked away. Another whistle sounds. Another free position, this time from straight out. Gets in tight, slips it past the keeper, a 2-goal lead.
That's a big goal. I mean, 4:13 remaining in this one. That's a really big goal. As she's able to give her squad the 2-goal cushion. And she gets her 34th goal of the season. But most importantly, she puts her squad up by 2.
Wildcats await on a Thursday night. Quarterfinal round.
Timeout. Duluth Marshall trailing by 2 with 4:13 remaining. Going to talk about things. Of course, SLPCR has to feel pretty good about where they are here. And granted, it's still a little over 4 minutes left, but here's another look at that goal. She's able to get it by Rowan, find the back of the net.
Well, and anytime you have the long road trip in the playoffs, you know that you're the underdog.
Yep.
But it makes it that much more sweet if you can have a happy ride home, knowing that your season would continue and you'd have another long road trip a couple days later.
Right. They'd be fine with that.
Last 4 goals in the contest scored by the home squad. From down 2 at 5-3 in the second quarter to now leading 7-5 with 4:13 remaining in the fourth.
Yeah, and they did that with patient offense and really good defense as well. And just spending a lot of time down in the opponent's end, taking time off the clock and then making your opportunities count.
Talked about it a bit ago, if we'd start to see a little more urgency on offense from either team. For SLPCR trying to get that insurance goal, and for the Hilltoppers trying to even things back up. And now with the need for 2, you'd have to imagine that Hilltoppers offensively, if they can get possession, will be going pretty much right at the net. Huge steal by Kylie Edwards will keep them from having the opportunity to go right at the net. Instead, Edwards taking it in deep before handing it off to her sister and retreating as the Panthers are able to set up in the offensive end.
And again, now you can take that opportunity. Not sure what happened.
Oh, we've got another shoe tying happening, but I don't think that's what led to the whistle. Either way, it's going to be Hilltopper ball. Ella Thorson fires it all the way downfield. Emma Johnson can't secure, but then able to scoop it back up and get in on the offensive end. She'll hand it off to Nina Thorson, and now Ella Roan. Stauber fakes the give, keeps it herself. Good defensive play as Edwards keeps her at bay.
Yeah, she was definitely not fooled by that move. She's able to stay with her, not let her gain that inside.
Jardelli back to Stauber up top. This time she does hand off. Thorson lost it as she went to shoot. Scooped up and cleared out by Paige Post. Got it upfield, and SLPCR able to set up back in the attacking end.
Now you see a little more pressure.
Well, they have to pressure
you
the ball,
have
because
to.
at this point, SLPCR could just pass it around in the offensive end and kill the rest of the clock. They have no reason to even attempt a shot if they can maintain possession. Caitlin Easton behind on the far side. At the same time, they don't want to be so complacent that they turn it over away from the net and give the Hilltoppers more opportunity than they should. Yellow card against Thorson. Easton keeps the pressure at bay, now gets around the corner. Trying to cut out front, now cuts back. Under 90 seconds to go.
And again, just allowing the ball to be moved around the perimeter and taking time off the clock. Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Misses with Schmidt on the far side, out of bounds, and turns it over. And that's the type of complacency I was mentioning moments ago. 66 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. It's a tough ask for the Hilltoppers to get 2.
especially after turning it over there.
It's just a good, strong defensive play. Is that? I think that was as Emily Bornis got in the passing lane. Hands it off to Grace Schmidt. And now up top for Olivia Lorkey. Shot in and a goal, and that'll add probably the nail in the coffin.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely the insurance goal for sure. Now it's
Kylie Dewar in close. Great look from Lorkey.
And again, just a beautiful pass to the inside, and she didn't waste any time turning and firing. You can see her go to that far side of the net. Goal number 8 on the night for SLPCR.
With 43 seconds to go, SLPCR can start making travel plans for Thursday night. Off the faceoff, Bornis had it knocked free, but illegally so they maintain possession. Edwards spinning off the pressure. That's Rowan way out of her net to defend. On the free position, the netminder is behind the ball carrier. Edwards did not get a shot away and did not need to. Under 10 seconds to go. Down to the final 5. Hilltoppers are going home and can talk about the end of their season all the way back to Duluth.
Yeah, it was a competitive, especially competitive first half, and then the Hilltoppers did a nice job of increasing that lead to 5-3, but give credit to SLPCR. They played solid defense. They did what they needed to do on offense. They took a lot of time off the clock, not allowing the Hilltoppers to get anything going momentum anyway, excuse me, in that second half.
Yeah, did not get a goal in the second half. Scored by the home team 4-0 in the final half. And that will be the victory for SLPCR. Will move them on to the quarterfinal round against number 1 seeded Chisago Lakes on Thursday night.
Yeah, it was a fun one, Joe Yund, and the home team gets the win, gets a nice job getting that home advantage to start their section play, and they get a win for their faithful.
And just the start of our night, as it is game 1 of a section playoff doubleheader. The boys team taking the field next against Hermantown Proctor in a similar 8-9 scenario. But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, it's SLPCR 8 and Duluth Marshall 5. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.